Hey, what's good everybody? It's CJ Beats. We're back at it again today. Today I was going to show you guys how I go about tracking out, mixing, and mastering my beats. I'm by no means a mastering engineer. I just have some tools at my disposal that allow me to make my sound a little bit bigger. So, long story short, last week or a couple of weeks ago, we went ahead and created somewhat of a Drake type beat. We had some sound loops from a piano, a saw lead, some bells, an 808, and we had for the drums a kick drum, snare, clap, and a hi-hat. Something pretty simple. It's only 11 tracks large, and what I did here was have a 8-bar an 8-bar intro, a 16-bar verse, and then lastly an 8-bar hook at the end here. And what we're going to do is track it out like this and then make the track longer after that, after the fact of tracking it out. It's just better to work with smaller file sizes rather than really large ones because your DAW, might not be able to handle it. Anyway, so I'm going to bring this back here like so to the end, and what I'm going to do next is track these out. Now, before I track them out, what I want to make sure of is that I don't have any of these tracks coming in too hot, meaning I don't want them to distort. All right. Now, before actually exporting these as WAV files, let's make sure that none of the sounds distort, and then we can always make the sound bigger in the end. Okay. It's always better to have quieter stuff in the beginning, and then once you've finished your track, then make it louder and shape it that way. Okay. So let's take a look here at what our peak decibels are in the middle of the track, or at the loudest portion of the track, which I would think would be probably anywhere around the 15th to 17th bar. All right. And I'll just play it here and we'll take a look at how loud it is. Okay, so the intro is still very quiet at negative 25 decibels. And it's important that you let the beat play in full so that the counter can really get the loudest spot. All right, so we're already at negative 1.2 here, negative 0.6. So it's hitting that threshold pretty closely. All right, so if we want to make this any louder later on, it's going to distort. Okay, so it's pretty safe to say that, oh, look at that, it just jumped again. All right, so negative 0.3. It's almost clipping. I mean, it's really almost right at the 0 decibels. So, all right, so the hook obviously is not going to distort because there are no drums in there. But that's really important to know because, we want to make sure that we get the best sound quality possible out of your beat, right? All right, so what I want to do now is bring all of these tracks down a bit. And some of you might say this is cheating, but hey, it works for me. I like to work fast. So let's go ahead and bring these down. Okay. Now let's play it at the 9th bar and see how loud it is. So my goal is to get this anywhere from negative 7.0 to 6.0, and we're anywhere in that range. So right now it's still a little below that. Let's see what happens. All right, still at 7.4, so let's bring this up just a bit. Not a lot, just a tad. Okay. 6.1. Right at that threshold, so that's fine. So over here, obviously it's not going to be that loud because again, there are no drums there. All right, so now that we have our levels set, let's go ahead and track this guy out. What I did want to mention is when I'm constructing these beats, I already start mixing them down then. I don't have any distortion going on while I make the beat. I mean, depending on the quality of your headphones and stuff, I mean, sometimes it's not going to sound very loud, but just remember that you're not making the beat loud in the beginning when you're constructing it. You're going to do that in the end. Okay. Let's go ahead and track it out. I'm going to go to File, Bounce, and replace all tracks. I'm going to hit Save because what's going to happen here once they're tracked out, right? They're WAV files. You can't make MIDI changes to WAV files. So it's telling you that you might want to save as after the fact because you might want to go back to your track later on and make adjustments. So let's go ahead and hit OK. See, I made sure that the play area is around the 35th bar or something like that, so that it's not going to track out the entire play area. All right, it's tracked out. Great. Now let's play it just to make sure it sounds okay in most areas. All right, we kept our 6.1. That's good. Oh, let's go into 5.5 now. That's fine. I mean, if you're really a stickler, bring it around 6 again, but for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm not going to. So negative 5.5, fine by me. Let's go ahead and select the playhead area position to be over the 9th bar here. I'm going to now chop this up so that I have the areas that I want to work with and rearrange them a bit. Okay, so that's 9th, and the verse would end here. Chop that. I'm going to show you in a second how I chop these. We've got this tail end right here, all of these guys that lead into the hook. I'm going to clean that up. I'm just going to delete those. And let's do the same here with the end of the 8-bar hook. Select those and chop that. Hit delete on the keyboard. There we go. Now we got a nice area to work with. I'm going to expand this a bit so I can see that if there are any areas that don't have any sound in it, like this guy right here, this guy, obviously these 3 or 4, 5, yep. Oops. Let's go back and double check. Yeah, there's nothing there. Okay. And those 2. All right, cool. Let's make this smaller again. Now we can take our play area and bring this back a bit. I say play area, I'm really not sure if that's what you call it, but let's just stick with that. All right, we want this to be around, I guess, 89, something like that. All right, we're going to select our 16-bar verse and our 8-bar hook. You know what? I just noticed something. I remember when I constructed this beat, I had the tubular bell. I'm just undoing what I did here. I think it's this guy right here. Yeah. Yeah, there was sound there and I deleted it. All right, so we want to keep that. And delete those, okay. So play area, let's bring it back again. Around 89. I'm really doing it the tedious way, but whatever. All right, now select these. Paste that over. Okay, so this is the one that goes reverse, so we could just bring this one on top like that. Okay, now it makes more sense. Grab these guys again, and there we go. All right, now our beat is 3 minutes and 12 seconds long. You can always change this to beats in time from beats to project. to see how long the beat is, okay? 3 minutes, 12 seconds, completely acceptable in my opinion. So let's see what we got here. Let's make sure that these line up. All right, good. So now, all right, this is all said and done. I'd like to do a little more mixing down before I start mastering this track. And what we're going to do next is find some bad frequencies, okay? Let me bring this guy up like so. I'm just organizing myself a little more, okay? So, finding bad frequencies. I'm going to start with this guy here. I think this is the piano. Let's solo that out. Yep. I'm not going to expect to have many bad frequencies here, but let's just search for them. I'm going to show you how to search for them. If we don't find anything, we'll just move on to the next sound and try to see if we can find any there. But let's play this. I just turned on the equalizer. Okay, I turned on the analyzer within the equalizer, and I'm just going to play it. You can see the frequencies are anywhere from 2, a little bit under 2 to around 600 or so. Now, I'm going to use this guy right here. I just clicked on it and make it a little smaller like this and bring it up like this. Okay, so the purpose of me doing this is to find frequencies that might interfere with others or that might make it sound a little uncrisp, if that makes any sense. Again, I'm not a mix or mastering engineer in a professional format, I guess you could say. I've just learned these tricks, over the years, and I'm sharing them with you. All right, so let's see here. Again, I'm not going to find anything most likely in this one, but what I'm doing here is looking for frequencies that stand out, like that one right there. I'm gonna shut up for a second so you can hear it. Almost sounds like a hollow tone. Let me turn this off so you can't hear it like that, but now that I brought that up, it stands out. Again, it's not a lot, so what I'm gonna do to cut this out a bit is just bring this guy down a bit, like that. Okay, that was around the 200 to 500 area, and I don't really expect to have anything in the other one, so I'm just gonna close out of this now and move on to my next sound. And let's loop an area that we have the sound constantly in, and which is around here. Yep. That's that first bell. I turned on the equalizer. I'm turning on the analyzer. So I'm just looking at these little waveforms here and trying to figure out where it might distort. I think probably have something around here. We're looking for that hollow tone. There's one right there. Yep. Yeah, something over here too. Oh yeah. That one's a little more noticeable, so I'm going to cut that out. Alright, let's try to see if there was another one here. Right there. Okay, cool. Now let's go to the next sound. It's this low-end sort of saw lead.